to record if it is better. If it is recordable, then I said yes, it will be done. All right. So let me again come back to this issue. So as I was explaining to all of you that how this mentorship program is different from the other test series program. See, this mentorship program is different on the parameters that uh, it will not let you to actually vitiate in this process of preparation for UPSC exam, because this is a long journey. Unlike the other exam where you actually prepare for, let's say, a couple of months or maybe 2 or 3 months, and you go and write the exam, this exam is actually a full complete year exam, in fact. And you have you can say 3 stages of this exam, which actually takes you to complete the entire year, in fact, to not only to write the exam but also to crack this exam, or in every stage of this exam, in fact. So therefore, it is going to be, of course, beneficial for all of you. It is going to support you till your final success. That is how it is different from any ordinary test series program. Secondly, in this journey also you get to know a lot of things to be read, to not to be read, and also a lot of materials keep coming in front of you. And at times it becomes difficult to actually ask, let's say, to anyone or maybe to your near and dear one regarding whether it should be dealt with, it should be read with or not. So there also this mentorship program will actually provide you the accessibility of your mentors, your faculties, your teachers at every point of time, and that is immensely important in this particular entire journey. So this accessibility is very important. All right, whether you are accessible or whether the teachers are accessible or not, because that matters a lot in this entire journey. Because you will have to face a lot of ups and downs. That's what actually you have to keep in mind. It's not going to be a very smooth or very rosy journey for everyone. There are very few very fortunate people in this country which actually get through, or rather who have got through this exam in very first attempt itself. But my personal experience is that 99% of people actually they have to struggle for at least a couple of years before cracking this exam. So you need to understand at the outset that there will be ups and downs in your entire journey. Your emotional, you can say, I mean, mood would be having ups and downs. You will face this particular seesaw moment in your mood also. So you need someone who can actually, of course, not only give the words of solace, but also the direction that how you have to now trade your journey. In fact, all right. So therefore, you require some mentor, some guide to crack this exam. And it is very obvious to understand and to know that any big journey or any big ambition, any big objective, one cannot achieve without having the support, or you can say the complete, you can say, guidance from any experienced person. So it happens with everyone. In fact, you can ask everyone, anyone, in fact, who actually has achieved the success in this exam. He or she must be having some sort of motivation, some sort of guidance, some sort of, you can say, support throughout his or her journey in terms of cracking this exam and trying to achieve the goal of being an IAS or IPS officer in their life, in their career. So therefore, it is important to understand that you need someone who can actually guide you, just like let's say the very famous scholar, very famous, I would say, teacher, the most important teacher, Chanakya, had guided Chandragupta Maurya to establish a very big empire, that is Mauryan Empire, and you almost have gone through at least ancient India. So exactly similarly, you also need Chanakya in your life. All right. So that's what actually is the importance of this mentorship program. Fine. And here, idea is that you have the experts of every particular domain. You have teachers like Nikhil sir, who is still, who's actually very, very, you can say, eager and always very up to the mark in terms of assisting the student and in terms of giving the extra support to the students. So Nikhil sir is there, Kanit sir is there, Nidhi ma'am is there, Chiran sir is there, who is expert in science and technology also. So there would be 5, 6 people who will be, keep guiding you through this journey. And importantly, I will be there throughout this journey. All right. So definitely, that is the advantage that you can seek out from this particular program. Fine. Now, Coming to this point, that how this program is going to be conducted and how you all guys have to use this program and the benefit of this program. Fine. See, in this program, what we have done, first and foremost thing, that we are going to conduct the test series. In fact, that's true. All right, there's no doubt about it. But this is something beyond test series, in fact. So here, I mean, unlike the other test series where you actually get to know about the test schedule, and then afterwards nothing is done except evaluation or giving you the feedback, and at the max giving you the answers of those questions. All right, because I know personally, I mean, because of my students also, they are involved in various test series in different institutes. So I know personally that they do hardly go for even discussion or go for conducting a session of course, interaction with the teachers regarding the evaluation, regarding the question sessions, answer sessions in their institutes. So definitely it is going to be one step ahead from those all programs. So you will be having the advantage of every stage here. So of course there would be a test based plan, there's no doubt about it. But this test based plan would be completely directed, it will not be misdirected. How it is directed, let me tell you how it is going to be directed. See, when you are asked to prepare any particular paper for writing a test, what is supposed to be done before that? The most important thing is to be done is that whether a teacher, or let's say the test preparator who actually is going to prepare your test paper, whether teacher is aware or whether teacher has made you aware. There are a lot of noises, I think, in the background.
Amit sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay.
No.
All right. So again, I'm repeating it. So the idea is that there's a need to uh, a particular stage where a teacher needs to communicate with all of you regarding the content of the subject material. Fine. So suppose if I give you one example to corroborate my point of view, is suppose you are asked to prepare history. Fine. Now, if history is to be prepared, you know, history has a very vast syllabus. It is a vast syllabus because it includes ancient, medieval, it includes even the modern, it includes world history. All right. So it includes art and culture. So there are a lot of dimensions in history. So at times, what happens, even it happens to everyone, even it happened to all of us also, that we get confused. We will get confused, and it also get very, you can say, pressurized in terms of preparing only a particular section of history. Because if you start preparing only modern India, it takes maybe 10, 12, 13 days to prepare only modern India, and then you finally have to also see into the syllabus of world history and syllabus of art and culture, and even ancient medieval, roughly in that way. And that too, when postmodern area is also a part of your syllabus. So thereby it becomes difficult for for a fresh candidate to actually understand the domain of the syllabus of the entire history for UPSC exam. So it becomes really difficult. I mean, I know personally many of the candidates who also have gone through got through this examination, who have already gone through this process, got through this examination as well. They have never read in their life many of the contents, or many of the content material of history. In fact, they have read only, let's say, X particular material or Y material only for modern India, and some of the you can say ready-made material for art and culture, and some here and there material. That's it. But they have not gone for any organized way of preparation. Now they were lucky that they didn't get the question from those areas which they could not prepare. But the point is that you cannot actually be secure or sure about that you will also not get the same question which they may not have got in their examination. So thereby the logic says that you need to prepare the entire syllabus. Whether the questions are asked or not asked, it hardly matters. But it is our duty to prepare the entire syllabus. So the idea is that here you need a guidance. Here you need a guidance from a mentor or from a teacher who can guide you exactly what is to be read, from where you have to read, let's say 1 or 2 chapters. For example, art and culture is a very vast domain. It's a very, you can say, complex domain, especially for a particular student who may not have a background of history. So definitely you need a guidance. Otherwise, you will be lost in this ocean of history. All right. So the point is that you require the list of the books, list of the chapters, not exactly books. Books can be told to you by everyone or anyone, in fact. The list of the chapters to be read from XYZ book, and then accordingly you can streamline your preparation. All right. And not only that, you also need a particular timetable, a timetable that by what deadline am I supposed to prepare, am I supposed to complete this particular segment. So that deadline is equally very, very important. Otherwise, I mean, if I ask you to read, let's say, history or maybe modern India, I believe that if you start reading even a spectrum of modern India, it will take you more than 15-20 days to complete even modern India. So if there's no deadline, what will happen for entire, let's say, couple of months, you will keep dwelling in history only. You will keep swimming in history only. Then after 2.5 months, you will realize, okay, मेरा तो सिर्फ हिस्ट्री पढ़ा है पूरा 2.5 महीने में. अब बचे मात्र 2-2.5 महीने और, अब 2-2.5 महीने में मुझे अब सारा पढ़ना है. So obviously, with this approach, you are going to get a pressure there in the towards the last of your last phase of your preparation. In fact, तो लास्ट फेज में क्या करेंगे आप, सिर्फ फ्लिप थ्रू करके पेजेस चले जाएंगे या कुछ कुछ कहीं से रेडीमेड मटेरियल देख के चले जाएंगे एग्जाम दिन. तो उससे फिर रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा वैसा जैसा आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं या करना चाहिए आपको, क्योंकि आपने पूरे 7-8 महीने अपने लगाए प्रिपरेशन में, फिर भी रिजल्ट नहीं आया. वो इसलिए नहीं आया कि प्रिपरेशन जो है वो थोड़ा सा स्ट्रीमलाइन नहीं था, वो साइंटिफिक बेसिस पे नहीं था, वो एक डायरेक्टेड नहीं था, वो अनडायरेक्टेड और मिसडायरेक्टेड था इनफैक्ट पूरा प्रिपरेशन आपका. So therefore, it is required to have a guidance right from the beginning. Fine. So in this particular mentorship program, we will be guiding you at every stage. All right. We will guide you at the stage of that how you have to read XYZ material, which all materials are to be read, which all materials are not to be read, क्या क्या रेफर करना है, क्या नहीं रेफर करना है और कितना रेफर करना है. ठीक है, वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो वो हम आपको बताते चले जाएंगे और आप उसी डायरेक्शन में उसकी प्रिपरेशन करते चले जाएंगे. ठीक है. अब सवाल होता है कि डेडलाइन करना. डेडलाइन क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? क्योंकि डेडलाइन अगर नहीं होगा तो आपके पास प्रेशर नहीं होगा. यू विल नॉट बी हैविंग अ प्रेशर. ठीक है. इफ देयर इज अ डेडलाइन दैट यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर एंटायर, लेट्स से, हिस्ट्री बाय 15th of December, then definitely you will try to put every day, every night in that particular orientation, that even in any circumstance by 14th of December, my preparation should be done with my satisfaction, my level of satisfaction. All right. And then it comes to test your satisfaction through any particular paper. Fine. So therefore, you need a deadline also apart from the study plan. So we'll be providing you the study plan with a deadline, and accordingly you have to keep working on those deadline and those study plan, in fact. Fine. See, material could vary. I mean, since many of you may have also done your classes, some of you may not have done any classes. So even though material could vary, someone may be having a material from XYZ institute, someone may be having material from their near and dear ones, some may be having material also from any book. But the objective is to complete the syllabus. All right. If the objective is to complete the syllabus of, let's say, the cultural heritage of India, so if it is given there in any book or any material, that's what actually you are supposed to prepare. Fine. So accordingly, whatever material you have, we will give you a particular study plan that you have to complete these all chapters, these all segments of your syllabus by this particular deadline. Fine. Once you do it, once you complete it, which you have to do it because there's no other option. There's no other option. That's a fact. All right. If you're really serious to crack this examination, then there's no other option. You cannot be, let's say, lacklustrous in your preparation. You cannot be casual in your preparation. You cannot even be casual for one single day now onwards if you crack this examination next year itself. Fine. So accordingly, you will be set on the track. Fine. Now, on the track, you will have to keep moving. Fine. And there will be a junction in the form of test. Fine. So a junction in the form of test where you will be having a resting time in terms of expressing, in terms of showing your understanding, your knowledge, and your even memory. I mean, all the things are required to crack this examination. All right. So I always believe that memory is equally very important to crack this examination. So people say that no, you don't need rote memory, all those things, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because there are various factual things which you cannot even understand. I mean, of course, when you understand, you remember. When you remember, you also understand. Both the things play both the roles, in fact. So at times क्या होता है कि बहुत सारी चीज आप समझते नहीं है, लेकिन आप जब याद करते हैं तो आपको समझ में भी आ जाती है कि हाँ ऐसे कुछ था या ऐसा ही कुछ है इनफैक्ट. सो दोनों चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है लाइफ में. मेमोरी भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कॉन्सेप्ट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. तो योर टेस्ट विल बी डन. और टेस्ट कैसे होगा? सो वी हैव गिवन यू द प्लान. टेस्ट प्लान इज ऑलरेडी outlined. ठीक है. So the test plan would be best like this way. There will be a test of mains, and after the test of mains, which is going to be subjective, we'll be testing you firstly on subjective areas. Now, why subjective areas? Just to show you, just to test your understanding first. Because in subjective answers, there's always a scope that if you don't even remember one or two facts, still it can work. Still you can manage a good answer. All right. So that will be done first. Once that will be done, then you will be again given a time of another 1 week, maybe 10 days, whatever. You can see the schedule. Accordingly, you will be given another time. Fine. And in those durations, you will be asked to only revise the things from the factual perspective. From the factual perspective. All right. Nikhil wants to say something.
We had planned in a way to make them comfortable so that prelims we are coming with first exam, and we are going with our mains examination, so that they also feel comfortable, because a lot of students are afraid from the prelims first, so that we can inculcate their knowledge in the mains examination. Even sir, I want to add one more thing in that. Students, the major focus is our examination is that not to make you comfortable in UPSC, as well as suppose if you are failing in few topics or unable to understand the topics, for that you can directly contact us. We will discuss things with you. We will guide you how to go with those topics. If all the students are getting the same kind of problem, we can also arrange the class for you. Correct? Means your preparation must move on. Amit sir, now please you can.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So idea was that this is how we are going to conduct the papers. Prelims and mains both will be there. All right. And it will be followed in the context of your one particular area, which you will be asked to prepare first. Fine. Once that will be done, of course, if we realize, let's say, one or two topics out of your performance, maybe in prelims and the mains paper, when we realize that suppose many of you are having a problem in understanding the cloud formation. Suppose there's a question on clouds. Fine. There's a problem in cloud formation in many of you. Similarly, there are problems also on climatology in many of you. So accordingly, on the basis of the common gray areas, a teacher would decide to conduct few lectures on weekends, or maybe towards the let's say towards the evening, according to the suitability of a teacher. All right. Those lectures would be conducted for all of you to assist you. Fine. So since it is going to be done through online, so it is convenient for everyone to actually attend those sessions. Session would be definitely kept in a particular time when you actually complete your entire daily course of action, and then you are relieved, you are free towards the evening, and then the session will be conducted. And secondly, session will also be recorded. All right. Suppose you somehow missed out those sessions, so it is not going to be worried. Let's say going to be a matter of worry for any one of you. So it will be also recorded, and again it will be posted there on the YouTube channel. So only you can also watch those sessions. Now, this is how we'll be keep covering your gray areas, keep lectures giving assistance on your gray areas. Fine. So this is going to be another very, I would say, icing on the cake. I mean, because of course, I mean, normally what happens in test series at the max you can be given the, let's say, discussion session or maybe the answers at the max after the evaluation of your paper. That's it. But they hardly give you the extra lectures or extra sessions on your gray areas. And this exactly is required in the mentorship program. Fine. So this is how we'll be conducting those sessions as well. Fine. Not only that, but I have also planned that in some of the areas, let's say in art and culture is one of those gray areas which are commonly found to be a problem among 99% of students. All right. So definitely for art and culture, I will be conducting some special sessions, especially on those areas like religion, architecture, even some cultural developments. So those areas, those classes will also be conducted to assist you in art and culture segment. Fine. And those classes would be meaningful for both mains and prelims. ठीक है. तो क्या होगा कि वो 3-4 क्लासेस में आपका वो आर्ट एंड कल्चर का जो कॉमनली अवेलेबल फैक्ट्स है, कॉमनली अवेलेबल और अंडरस्टूड फैक्ट्स है, वहां पे क्लास लेके वैसे भी बहुत ज्यादा कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. लेकिन डेफिनेटली जहां पे ऐसे फैक्ट्स हैं जो उसको आप कॉमनली आप उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, जो ऐसे टर्म्स है कॉमनली आप एक्सेस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, जैसे कि इसी बार प्रीलिम्स में उन्होंने बहुत सारे ऐसे टर्म्स पूछ दिए थे. मान लीजिए परमिताज पूछ दिया उन्होंने, ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स में इस बार. ठीक है. तो वैसे टर्म्स है जो आपके एनसीईआरटी एनसीईआरटी में नहीं दिया हुआ है, लेकिन वो क्वेश्चन में आ गया. अब क्या है कि वो ऐसे टर्म्स है जो दिए हुए हैं बट वो एडवांस बुक्स में है, जिसको मैं आपको रिकमेंड नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि वो 500-600 पेजेस की बुक्स है और एक क्वेश्चन के लिए 500-600 पेज नहीं पढ़वा सकता हूँ आपको. ठीक है, वो एक मैडनेस हो जाएगा. दैट्स एक्चुअली अ कंप्लीटली मैडनेस. फाइन. So you need to understand कि to cover one or two questions, you cannot read or go through 500-600 pages. Fine. So there are compulsory books. Definitely, we'll recommend you to read to go through that. But there are certain subsidiary books where few chapters could be read by you, and those few chapters will definitely recommend to you in your entire session. Fine. This is how the program will progress. ठीक है. और इसके अलावा, let me tell you that suppose someone is having certain problem in some area. Okay, someone is having a problem in, let's say, understanding the federal system, understanding the financial federalism. Now definitely if that is there, you are free to contact the teacher, the faculty over here. Kanik sir is there to deal with the polity section completely, governance section completely. You are free to contact him. He will definitely conduct a session with you personally, online session, and he will explain to you about the entire concept of fiscal federalism. Fine. So through this, you will get the advantage of even getting those sections, those areas which you may have found as a problem while studying those particular segments, while studying those particular books or those resource material. ठीक है. तो जब आप पढ़ते भी हैं तो भी बहुत सारे ऐसे मटेरियल आप फेस करते हैं, ऐसे कंटेंट फेस करते हैं, ऐसे वर्ड्स फेस करते हैं या ऐसे सेंटेंस फेस करते हैं जहां पे आपको बहुत क्लैरिटी नहीं आ पाती है. ठीक है. सो डेफिनेटली यू नीड टू हैव अ support of any good teacher. है ना. Suppose I give you an example. If when you read Lakshmikant, this is a very popular book on Indian polity and everyone reads, 99 नहीं 100% लोग वही पढ़ते हैं. ठीक है. So suppose if Lakshmikant you go through and you read a chapter of CAG CAG, fine, and the very first sentence is mentioned in CAG CAG is that the CAG is a quasi judicial body. A CAG is a quasi judicial body. Now the point is how CAG is a quasi-judicial body, and what do you mean by quasi-judicial is the first thing, and secondly, how can CAG be called as a quasi-judicial body? What powers CAG enjoy that can be called as a quasi-judicial body? But this point is not explained in Lakshmikant. ये लिखा नहीं हुआ है. आप पढ़ेंगे लक्ष्मीकांत उठा के देखिए आज ही बैठ के, ये लिखा नहीं हुआ है आगे के क्या मतलब हुआ उसका, लेकिन लिख दिया पहली सेंटेंस में CAG is a quasi-judicial body. काम खत्म, आगे बढ़ गए. ठीक है. अब सवाल यहां ये उठता है कि अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है कि पहले तो क्वाजी जुडिशियल होता क्या, ये नहीं पता है, दूसरा पता भी है तो कैग के साथ कैसे रिलेट करते हैं यही नहीं पता है, तो फिर आगे दिक्कत हो सकती है और होगी. ऑलराइट. सो सी, these are the key words, these are key points which normally many of us miss out. Many of us miss out because we hardly give a damn to those particular terms, those sentences. But those sentences, those terms are actually having potential to make you in a difficult situation, to create difficulty for you during your prelims and mains examination. Because if you don't have understanding, then in prelims or also in the mains, it may create a problem for you. Fine. So therefore, it is highly recommended that yes, you need the mentorship program, you need the support of a good guide, good teacher, good mentor who can keep you guiding at every stage in this journey. All right, and this journey is going to be very long. That's for sure. I can bet upon that. That for some of you, it may go for even a couple of years. But the point is this. The point is this. Even though it may be a long journey, yet we guarantee you a success. Okay, and success is going to be sweeter than your entire pain that you may have suffered in this long journey. All right. So the point is this, that you dream for your success. Don't think for your pain. पेन तो होगा, दिक्कतें आएंगी, ठीक है, दर्द भी महसूस होगा, दुख भी होगा, शायद कोई समझने वाला भी ना हो, घर से बहुत सारी बातें सुनने को मिलेंगी, लेकिन ये सारी बातों को आपको दरकिनार करना होगा, क्योंकि जब सक्सेस मिलेगा तो ये सारा पेन, ये सारा दुख, ये सारा आइसोलेशन खत्म हो जाएगा। ठीक है, वो दिन जो है फिर आपके लिए एक नई दुनिया, नया एक समाज, नए लोग, नई पहचान देगा। So that is very sweet. That's actually the most important desire in this spiritual journey. ठीक है, and I have seen people across me, people around me, they actually have got this success, and after the success, their life has changed completely. All right, I know one of my acquaintances, I would say, not a friend, acquaintances, in fact, he actually had suffered a lot when he was preparing in Delhi. He was in top floor because of its financial limitation. He could not actually hire a proper room also. He was in top floor. और दिल्ली में क्या होता है कि नेहरू विहार और गांधी विहार में टॉप फ्लोर पे वो एस्बेस्टस का लगाते हैं टॉप फ्लोर। गर्मी में जो टेम्परेचर 40 डिग्री होता है, एस्बेस्टस पे 50 डिग्री होता है। 50 डिग्री में बॉयल करता है एस्बेस्टस का रूम, ठीक है। और उस 50 डिग्री के एस्बेस्टस के रूम में बॉयल करते हुए रूम में वो बंदा जो है सर पे गमछा होता है, हम लोग बिहार में कहते हैं गमछी, ठीक है, गमछा बांध के, गमछा पानी बांध के वो सर पे रख के उसे पढ़ता था। एंड यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड टू नो दैट he is right now a DM of Baka in Bihar. All right, so now you understand. I mean, he may have forgotten all those bad days of him, all those tough days for him. All right, today he is enjoying everything, every privilege in Bihar as a district magistrate. So that is the beauty of this examination. So पेन होगा, वो आप तैयार रहिए, उसको फेस करना पड़ेगा, बट वंस यू विल सक्सीड, उसके बाद शायद आप मुझे भी पहचानने से भूल जाए, ठीक है। तो ये फैक्ट है इस एग्जाम का, इसलिए इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है। इट्स नथिंग वेरी एबनॉर्मल, इट्स वेरी नॉर्मल, ठीक है, बिकॉज यू गेट लॉट ऑफ कमिटमेंट, लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस इन योर सर्विस ऑल्सो। सो दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन, बट द पॉइंट इज दिस सक्सेस इज गोइंग टू बी स्वीटर, ठीक है। अभी कितना भी आपको सॉवर लगे ये जर्नी, लेकिन सक्सेस बहुत मीठा होने वाला है। इसलिए थोड़ा सा दिमाग में इस बात को बैठा के काम करना है कि चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, लगे रहना है। ऑलराइट, यू हैव टू कीप फाइटिंग, फाइन। एंड आई टेल यू, एंड अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग इट, कि सम ऑफ यू हु फॉलो द गाइडलाइंस very religiously, who follow the directions very religiously, and also applying your sense, also applying your, let's say, your logic, in fact, in preparation, then definitely you will crack this examination very early. All right, you will crack this examination very early, maybe in first and very second attempt you will crack this examination for sure, fine. So उसमें आपको बहुत ज़्यादा पेन नहीं समझ में आएगा, लेकिन in certain cases it is also possible. I know one of my seniors, he didn't crack the prelims in the first 3 attempts. All right, the last attempt, the 4th attempt, he was writing essay casually, and he went to the examination, he wrote casually, and finally he cracked this. He got 96th rank in the last attempt. However, because of his short height, he could not get into IPS, he got IRS. All right, so idea is finally he got into IRS, and he is now a big shot in income tax today. In income tax department, he is a well-known person today. All right, so that is the journey. I mean, that's what actually I'm telling you. There would be ups and downs, but you have to keep striving. You have to keep striving, and that's what actually you have to keep in mind always. ठीक है, तो ये पूरा जर्नी जो है आपको यहाँ we will be supporting through the mentorship program, ठीक है, and all the faculties, all the people who are involved here, they would be giving you extra, you can say, support in their domain, in their respective domains also. So according to your requirement, according to your need, there will be also a customized, I would say, delivery of the areas, of the gray areas as well. So these are the benefits of this particular program. And of course, the other things which are almost always with the test paper or test series program would also be there, like discussion of test paper, answer of test paper, etc. So that would be always there. फाइन, तो वो तो पहले ही से रहेगा ही रहेगा, तो वो सब कुछ इसके साथ आपको मिलेगा. तो ये इस प्रोग्राम का ओवरऑल जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो ऐसा है. ठीक है. अब सवाल ये उठता है कि आप इसको प्रोसीड कैसे करें. तो जैसे कि अगर आपके पास प्रोग्राम हो, तो अगर आप देख पाए अपने सिस्टम में, yes, Nikhil sir is sharing the screen also. That's good. Yeah, thank you, Nikhil sir. Now you can see on your screen. So there are going to be 34 tests, in fact. All right, and this 34 test would be a mix of both prelims and the mains paper. In fact, therefore it is actually known as called as a integrated plan. In fact, so it is mentorship integrated plan for both prelims and the main examination. In fact, ठीक है. तो जैसे आप देखेंगे कि 8 दिसंबर को हम प्रीलिम्स के थ्रू इंटर कर रहे हैं, देन विल प्रोसीड टू द मेंस आल्सो. फाइन. सो 8 दिसंबर को हम प्रीलिम्स का कर रहे हैं, फिर 17th को वी आर गोइंग टू आल्सो कंडक्ट अ डिस्कशन फॉर द सेम पर्टिकुलर टेस्ट, and then we are going to also have another test on 18th of December. That's actually going to be a test on of course geography mains aspect, and similarly we are going to conduct the discussion also on 26th of December. Fine, and it is going to follow with history, social issues, polity, like this way. So program is very crystal clearly mentioning about all the things. Fine. तो ये आपको करना है. अब सवाल ये यहाँ पे कुछ और भी आते हैं, जैसे कि मैं आपको कुछ बात बताना चाह रहा था कि ये प्रोग्राम तो जैसा लिखा हुआ ऐसे प्रोसीड करता जाएगा. ठीक है. अब सपोज कीजिए कि someone of you have missed out any particular date. ठीक है. अब आपको 18 को प्रिपेयर करना था मेंस ज्योग्राफी का, आपने प्रिपेयर नहीं किया या नहीं हो पाया. So even though you are free to write on 19th, free to write on 20th, free to write 21st, you have to ensure that before the day of discussion, you must write the test. The deadline is definitely 8th of December, depending upon your area of or your level of preparation. But you have to ensure that before the day of discussion, you are writing the entire paper. In fact, otherwise, after discussion, there would be very, I mean, I won't say there's a very meaningful way of writing the test. All right. ऐसे तो फिर extempo writing आप कभी भी कहीं भी कर सकते हैं. That will not be highly beneficial. Similarly, suppose on 28th of December you have a test of history and culture, and probably if you're writing BPSC on the same day, because BPSC exam is also scheduled on 28th of December, then probably you will miss out this particular test. Then it is having no problem. You can write it on maybe on 29th or maybe on 30th, according to your own convenience. So there would be convenience, or there would be flexibility also in terms of writing this test. That's one point. But the discussion, of course, the dates which I mentioned, in exception case, one discussion would shift. Otherwise, discussion will be conducted on the same particular date. Fine. On the other hand, discussion will also be recorded, and it will be given to you on the basis of a password. We will be sharing the password to access the particular, let's say, discussion session that will be posted on the YouTube channel. Okay. So that is how you can access those discussions also. Fine. That's how it is going to be conducted. Fine. So this is the plan. And then after the prelims also, we'll be starting the test papers, in fact. Okay. And those test papers will be conducted after your prelims examination as well. Fine. That's how it is going to be done. Fine. So this is the entire plan for all of you. All right. Now you have to tell me what all your concerns, your point of view regarding the entire test-based mentorship program. Now, if you have any concern, this is what actually I had to share with all of you. If you have to share any concern, you can also share your concerns or your issues.
Yes sir, good evening.
हाँ अभिनव, good evening, good evening.
जी हाँ सर, ये कह रहा था जैसे हम लोग टेस्ट देते हैं, फॉर सपोज कि पहला टेस्ट हम लोगों का इज ऑन 8th of December.
Right.
उसके बाद सर डेट ऑफ डिस्कशन उसकी सर 17th ऑफ दिसंबर दी गई है।
राइट।
हाँ तो सर उसमें होता क्या है कि जैसे हम क्वेश्चन करा तो क्वेश्चन जैसे फिर क्वेश्चन भूलने लगते हैं कि हाँ ये इस क्वेश्चन में हमने क्या लॉजिक लगाया था कि हमने
अच्छा,
ये वाला ऑप्शन टिक किया।
ठीक है।
तो अगर डिस्कशन जो है विद इन 1 और 2 डेज हो जाए अगर टेस्ट के, तो वो एक ये रहता है कि एकदम फ्रेश फ्रेश रहता है और डिस्कशन के साथ में क्वेश्चन पेपर भी साथ में रिवाइज रहता है तुरंत का तुरंत।
देखो
तो
इसका
सर
दो,
लास्ट टाइम थोड़ी ये चीज मतलब हुई थी कि फिर डिस्कशन होता है, ठीक है हो रहा है, जैसे आज टेस्ट दिया कल परसों में डिस्कशन, हाँ कल दिया था टेस्ट दिया था चलो डिस्कशन करते हैं क्या है कितने सही कितने गलत है। तो सर एक
राइट,
वो रहता है अंदर से।
ठीक ठीक है, समझ गया तुम्हारे पॉइंट। सो व्हाट यू डू ना, since discussion is going to be conducted on 17th of December, so you always write the test on 16th of December or 16th, let's say one day before. You don't go by the date of the test. Now, this date of the test and date of discussion have been separated quite long just because of one reason. That I know
हाँ
that every person do not or else does not go for writing the test on the same day. All right, they may be having some of the other difficulty. कभी क्या होता है कि लाइन पावर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया, इंटरनेट नहीं है,
जी
whatever. There could be a lot of problems which we also have faced if you remember during the time of prelims. ठीक है, तो उसमें क्या होता है, जैसे आप ही के साथ प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी उस समय कि आप जहाँ थे वहां पे इंटरनेट का कनेक्टिविटी पुअर था। तो उस हिसाब से क्या है कि अब आप ही जैसे लोगों को फिर दिक्कत होने लगेगी कि टेस्ट हुआ और वो मिस हो गया, तो फिर मिस हो गया तो आप फिर टेस्ट नहीं लिख पा रहे हैं। तो वो टाइम दिया गया है, फ्लेक्सिबल टाइम। नाउ द पॉइंट इज व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट एंड आई आल्सो बिलीव दैट देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन दैट। So in your case and the case for others also, if the others also believe a similar way, they can also have this option. They can write a test maybe in the morning and in the evening they can listen to discussion. They can hear the entire discussion. All right, so we have no problem in that. Fine, but the problem is only in the context of the mains paper, because the mains paper you cannot expect me and other teachers to evaluate on the same day. If you have sent the paper, there are 20 questions.
सर। सर
It is humanly impossible for us to evaluate the entire paper, 20 questions in one day. Because reading even 5 to 10 questions, I mean, today only I have been, I would say, evaluating at least 2-3 papers. I mean, since morning till, I would say 6 o'clock, I had been able to evaluate 2 essay paper and I think 10 questions of 1 GS paper. That's it. After that, I was not comfortable in evaluating because उसको समझ में नहीं आता मुझे कुछ भी, मैं क्या पढ़ रहा हूँ,
जी जी
तो मैंने छोड़ दिया। ठीक है, so this is the practical problem in fact. ठीक है, because reading let's say different handwritings, different expressions, different language, it actually takes time for us also to actually incorporate the entire ideas and to then to reflect upon that. क्योंकि सिर्फ टिक टिक करके निकल जाना है तब तो फिर आसान है, but definitely when you read out the entire lines and then you try to reflect what actually has been written, because we give 99% an element of doubt in favor of student. The student has written the right lines. So whatever you write, even a particular wrong sentence, we try to examine it on the merit only, that it must have been right, unless and until I prove it is wrong. For example, I give you one small example to understand it. Today only I was evaluating one of the papers, and this paper is a paper of one of the already selected student in UPSC. All right. So I was evaluating the paper. The question was on the issue of disability. The very first statement was written that according to census 2011, the total disabled population in India is 13 million. Fine. Now this 13 million, I can't actually go ahead without actually examining and evaluating it or rather verifying it. I got a doubt that it must be more than this. 13 million is 1.3 crore. That's it. It must be more than that. And when I examined it, I found it is incorrect. All right, it is 2.8 crore according to 2011 census. So I have to give this feedback that you should not cite an incorrect data, and that too in the very first statement of your answer. Because anyhow, a teacher is going to read the very first statement what you are going to write about a particular question. So that's what actually is the importance of having evaluation done by a particular teacher or faculty who actually has been dealing this area for quite a long time. Because I can read and I can actually have an understanding with while scanning the paper itself that there is something wrong in this. There's something wrong in this, and I have to verify it. Then only I can pass it. ठीक है, तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, इसका बेनिफिट होता है इवैल्यूएशन का. ठीक है, तो यहाँ क्या है कि मेंस का जो पेपर होगा उसमें ये थोड़ा सा इशू बनेगा कि आपको थोड़ा सा टाइम देना पड़ेगा फॉर इवैल्यूएशन. सो इट इज बेटर फॉर मेंस यू राइट ऑन द सेम डेट, the date when you are going to conduct the test, and then we'll be having sufficient time to evaluate the paper and then finally give you the feedback. And with the feedback, you listen to discussion, you hear the discussion. That will be quite good for you. ठीक है, that is the program.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है.
और सर ये प्लेटफॉर्म हमारा इस बार कौन सा रहेगा? लास्ट टाइम MS ऑफिस शायद रहा था, वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट प्लेटफॉर्म रहा था शायद प्री का टेस्ट का.
वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का ही प्लेटफॉर्म रहेगा कि वो प्लेटफॉर्म निखिल सर हम लोगों ने खरीद रखा है, तो उसी प्लेटफॉर्म से ही हम उसको करेंगे. ठीक है.
प्लेटफॉर्म विल बी इजी फॉर यू. आई थिंक लास्ट प्लेटफॉर्म इजी था आपके लिए.
हाँ सर.
ठीक है, right. Actually, one more thing I want to add. I'm going to be very frank. If I really talk about this program now, I can say that means by 2nd of April, you will be having platform where you can judge yourself on prelims as well as on your mains examination. Because after 2nd April, we have continuous prelims examination till you have your exam, and after finishing of your prelims examination, we have your 8 papers with respect to your mains examination. It means you can say that easily you can make your platform on, you can say, on your prelims as well as your mains. As you can see, means on every paper, on every subject. It means if I talk about geography, on 8th, first of all, we are taking geography prelims. On 18th, we are taking the geography mains. Because as you are preparing for prelims, somewhat you are also preparing for your mains also. If you are preparing for your mains, somewhat your prelims preparation is also going to do. This is the beauty of this program. Things will be easy for you.
One more thing I would like to add on here. When I analyzed the prelims paper of 2020, I found that many questions in 2020 prelims were quite absurd, not very comfortable for many of the students. Basically, if I have to talk about the questions pertaining to the areas of agriculture, so there were a good number of questions from the area of agriculture. And let me tell you, those questions or those areas you hardly study. I mean, either in geography or also in economy. Because normally, where do you study agriculture? You study agriculture either in geography or in economy. That's it. Fine. So neither in geography nor in economy, those areas which actually have been asked by UPSC in 2020 prelims have been dealt by anyone. In fact, I would say none of the book also, which is popular. In fact, I would say in this way, the books which are popular in geography, popular in let's say economy, even deal with those areas. Fine. So therefore, my point was that we will be conducting some special sessions on agriculture, particularly by some expert who has been dealing with this particular subject, because agriculture is also an optional paper for many of the students. So I am also planning to conduct maybe 1 or 2 lectures only on agriculture in the context of the recent trend and technologies being introduced in the field of agriculture, not the traditional information of agriculture. All right. So that would also be done, because that I found, because these things you can't prepare. I mean, let me tell you one thing. I mean, today you decide, okay, now I have to go through agriculture and read XYZ material of agriculture. You will not be able to win this battle. Fine. So therefore, you require this sort of assistance also from a particular mentor, a particular teacher, maybe a particular institute, whatever, whosoever is actually thinking for your welfare, in fact. Because normally an institute only delivers what they have to deliver. They hardly bother what is to be delivered, what should be delivered, in fact. All right. तो वहां होता क्या है कि उनको जो पढ़ाना होता है वो पढ़ा के निकल जाते हैं. वो हार्डली सोचते हैं कि इससे क्वेश्चन आए या ना आए वो स्टूडेंट समझ लेगा. ठीक है, वो स्टूडेंट के ऊपर छोड़ देंगे. अब होता क्या है कि यू रीड एंड देन फाइनली व्हाट दे डू, कि जो आसान आसान सा क्वेश्चन होता है जहां हर कोई जानता है, वो कहेंगे कि हाँ मेरे सिलेबस से लड़ गया, मेरे कोचिंग के नोट से लड़ गया, मेरे बुक से लड़ गया. ठीक है, और जो बाकी के जो क्वेश्चंस थे वो उसको दबा जाते हैं, उसको भूल जाते हैं कि वो कहाँ से लड़ा सर, वो कहाँ से आया सर, उसके बारे में कोई जानकारी नहीं है. ठीक है, जानकारी उसके पेपर हो जाने के बाद हो जाए तो अलग बात है, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग. वो तो सबको हो जाएगा, आपको भी हो जाएगा पेपर हो जाने के बाद. तो वहां पे इवन दे एक्चुअली हैव अ प्रॉब्लम. लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग वेरी ऑनेस्टली. ठीक है, so even they also have a problem. Therefore, what I have decided that at least in those areas where you don't find material very easily, you don't get the content very easily, in those areas at least there should be some special lectures also. Of course, that will be informed to you. There's no doubt about it. So definitely that will also be there in the assistance of your entire preparation. ठीक है, इससे होगा क्या ना कि एटलीस्ट आपके प्रिपरेशन में जहां जहां पे जो एरियाज ऐसे हैं जो आप प्रिपेयर करना चाहेंगे तो भी नहीं हो सकता है, तो उन एरियाज में एटलीस्ट वी कैन प्रोवाइड यू सम सपोर्ट. दैट इज अ पॉइंट. ठीक है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स आपको पता ही होगा कि बहुत सारे ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं जहां पे एग्रीकल्चर सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाया जाता है. ठीक है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स चिरंत सर इज नॉट हियर, बट ही एक्चुअली हैज बीन teaching agriculture as a optional subject, forestry as an optional subject only. So he will be there to also assist you in agriculture and forestry areas regarding all those terms and terminologies. Fine. Any other query that you have?
सर इसमें कुछ ऐसे भी ऐड कर सकते हैं क्या?
ऐसे, हाँ ऐसे करवाएंगे. ऐसे क्योंकि अभी करवाने में उतना फायदा नहीं होगा ऐसे का.
नहीं सर, बाद में, अभी तो नहीं.
हाँ नहीं, definitely we'll be conducting at least 2 essays again when after your prelims will be done with. ठीक है, उसका 2 essay रहेगा हमेशा. ठीक है.
हेलो सर, निशांत तिवारी है.
हाँ श्याम, यस
सर. निशांत तिवारी.
हाँ निशांत, हाँ बोलिए.
सर एक छोटी सी इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए थे. सॉरी टू से यू, बिकॉज सर मैंने लेट ज्वाइन किया था तो मुझे पता नहीं था किस तरीके से कंडक्ट होंगे एग्जाम्स. और सर ये छोटी सी चीज पूछनी थी, जैसे अगर अभी आप प्रेजेंट दिल्ली में ही होंगे तो सर जो स्टूडेंट दिल्ली में है तो वो आपसे अगर मिलके बात करे इस चीज से और आपके सामने एग्जाम दे तो शायद उस तरीके से सर आप उनको गलती बहुत जल्दी पकड़ सकते हैं फेस टू फेस ही सामने. तो ये चीज मैं पूछना चाह रहा था आपसे कि ये चीज हो सकती है या नहीं.
देखो अभी तो दिल्ली is almost on volcano. All right, so because of corona spread, I can tell you from my own apartment where I stay, where I live there in Delhi, in last 1 week there are 2 deaths. In last 1 month there are 4 deaths. And deaths have taken place due to corona. So in Delhi, I don't think that the government is going to allow to conduct these classes or these particular sessions between the teacher and the students very soon. Fine. So it will be highly risky for all of us. So it is better that we can conduct the session through the online means only. And as far as writing the test is concerned, see, I mean, it is always the element of integrity. The point is this: whether someone is watching you, someone is not watching you, how honest are you for yourself? That's actually is going to be the concept of integrity. So if your integrity is very high, so there's no problem in terms of, I mean, there has to be someone who can watch you when you write the test. You can simply fix an alarm of 3 hours, or maybe 2 hours, and with the alarms, ringing off, you can stop writing. You can stop writing the test. That's what actually would be your honesty. And this is exactly what is the meaning of integrity. Fine. So this example you can also write in the ethics paper. All right, in the ethics paper, the same example you can write as a example to illustrate your point in the context of the concept of integrity. All right. So this is what actually is the point. And the problem is there that, of course, we cannot actually start this offline session due to the corona pandemic. All right. So that session will be completely online. But definitely, let me tell you that suppose by the month of March, maybe by the month of April, the things improve and there is a, let's say, the vaccine being spread and the vaccine is being taken by all of us. So then, of course, we are going to offer this program through offline also. ठीक है, तो चूंकि प्रोग्राम ये काफी लंबा है, almost 9 months will be involved here. So definitely after 3-4 months, if things improve and there's a vaccination for all of us, then we can also conduct the offline session. So of course उसको offline हम meeting करेंगे, ठीक है? तो ये
I hope सर जल्दी से ओवर हो से बहुत दिन हो गए आपसे मिले हुए भी.
Even I'm also hoping for last almost 7-8 months. ये जो interaction जो होता है as a student or the teacher class के अंदर,
हाँ जी सर.
That becomes very insightful for a teacher also at times. But
Yes.
अभी क्या हो रहा है कि अभी ये monologue हो रहा है, dialogue नहीं हो रहा है. जब तक dialogue ना हो तब तक आइस बनने का मजा भी नहीं आता है. ठीक है, तो that is important in fact. वो करेंगे.
सर जैसे एक कलीग ने ना अभी रेस किया था एक पॉइंट कि जो एसेस पेपर रह गए उसे आपने बोला कि बाद में रेस करेंगे. तो सर मैं ये चीज पूछ रहा था, जैसे अगर बीच में एक आध वीक भी मिले, बिकॉज रोज तो हिंदू हम पढ़ ही रहे हैं, तो उससे हमारा जो भी मेंटली बन रही है क्वेश्चन या आंसरिंग करने की एबिलिटी वो हो रहा है. और बिकॉज सर साथ में सिविल सर्विसेज के साथ साथ सर एक CAPF भी एग्जाम रहेगा जहाँ पे ऐसे बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो सर वो वहां पे भी हेल्प कर सकता है. तो ये चीज मैं पूछा था अगर और जल्दी हो सके, जैसे वीक में एक दिन आपने ऐसी सरप्राइज टेस्ट का बोल दिया कि हाँ चलो कल ऐसा एग्जाम है आपका.
नहीं वो तो देखो वो तो क्या, हाँ वो तो क्या है कि ऐसे पेपर we already have made at least 4-5 essay papers already there, so we can conduct the essay paper on any particular day. All right, so that's not going to be a big issue. Fine. Even though I mean apart from this all, let me tell you one more thing. Apart from this all particular mentioned test papers, you are also free to write n number of questions and answers. Even if you want to write or do some practice of past year's paper of UPSC, which I would always recommend, you can write those papers. You can also send me apart from these papers, so I'll check that, so don't worry about it. I keep checking. I mean, whenever I teach, I mean, these days I've been teaching in GSS core, I've been teaching in evolution also, so they keep writing and they keep sending the test paper, the answers also. So even just a couple so a couple of days back only, I have checked certain answers and sent them in fact. So that's not going to be a big issue. So वो कोई बहुत बड़ा issue नहीं है, वो कभी भी आप चाहे लिख के मुझे दे सकते हैं. ठीक है.
तो सर स्टार्टिंग के 2 एग्जाम का तो मैं भी आपको बोल नहीं सकता, बिकॉज सर 20 को मेरा खुद का एग्जाम है CAPF का.
ओके, ठीक है.
तो सर मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ फिलहाल कि अभी तो उसी पे फोकस करूं, ताकि 20 दिसंबर अगर कंप्लीट होता है तो फिर 21 से फुल सिविल सर्विसेज जून के लिए लग जाना है.
परफेक्ट, कोई इशू नहीं है. आराम से पहले उसको कंप्लीट कीजिए. और एनी हाउ देखिए, एक एग्जाम निकालने के बाद ना, द काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस दैट यू गेन, इट हेल्प्स यू अ लॉट इन क्रैकिंग द सिविल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन. ठीक है. मेरे भी करियर में पहला एग्जाम अगर मैंने क्रैक किया था तो वो CAPF का एग्जाम था. तो उसके बाद मुझे लग गया कि अब मैं क्वालिफाई कर सकता हूँ UPSC. ठीक है. तो वो हुआ इनफैक्ट. तो इसलिए ये एग्जाम इंपॉर्टेंट आपके लिए भी. तो इसको अच्छे से लिखिए ताकि करेक्ट हो जाए इस बार, तो आप अपने आप प्रिपेयर हो चुके होंगे IAS बनने के लिए भी. ठीक है.
थैंक यू सो मच सर.
ठीक है. ओके. और एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
Any question from Akshay, Nishant, Ritika?
Sir, fee structure.
Fee is 27,500 for the entire program. All right. If you have any problem, you can also pay in installment, but only 2 installment. But 27,500 would be the program fee.
Okay.
Okay.
And soon we can do one thing. We'll soon going to share one link with you. It's again a registration form. So you can fill those registration form. If still you are facing some difficulty, you are open to call us. You can easily contact me and Amit sir.
Anyhow, the first test is open for all of you, so you can write the first test. All right. All of you are free to write the first test. There's no point in that. There's no problem in that. In fact, you can simply fill up the registration form and you can write the first test. We can send you a link of the test also on the basis of your registration, of course, link. In fact, all right.
What about current affairs? Like sharing any video or any lectures for current affairs?
See, I keep conducting those sessions. I mean, even if you see my YouTube channel, I have posted already a couple of lectures. In fact, I would say 2 or 3 videos, complete videos on economy sections, which were having the current affairs relevance for the last year. In fact, this year's prelims. So accordingly, I keep conducting those sessions, especially for economy. I'll keep conducting the sessions. All right. And similarly, I'll also request even Nikhil sir to conduct few sessions on current affairs topics pertaining to geography and environment. In fact, okay, so we'll conduct it. No issue.
Even if you see the curriculum, you can easily find that we are conducting 3 exact paper of current affairs. Even we are integrating our current affairs with our environment and science and tech also. It means somewhere in your 4 papers, we will going to ask questions from your current affairs. We're going to discuss those questions, as well as we will going to plan.
Current affairs तो anyhow देखो through the test only we'll be having extensive current affairs discussion. ठीक है, तो उसमें ऐसा होगा कि बहुत सारी चीज आपको उस डिस्कशन के थ्रू ही आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएंगे. That is the benefit of having current affairs test. ठीक है.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, then I think we have been able to address your queries also, and then we can conclude today's session and you can start preparing for geography. Fine. As far as geography is concerned, let me tell you one thing at the outset, which Nikhil sir will also corroborate the facts. One thing that you have to do is that you have to prepare the NCERT thoroughly for geography, class 11th and 12th, and especially the physical geography and Indian geography, Indian physical geography, in fact. So these 2 books are immensely important. All right. And then comes the role of, let's say, economic geography, the role of the human geography. All right. So these geographies are actually relatively, I would say, less important in the context of the physical and Indian physical geography. Fine. So therefore, you will have to focus upon this. And there are a few chapters, in fact, from J.C. Leong, which Nikhil sir would highlight, of course, maybe today or tomorrow. Nikhil sir will share. Nikhil sir will make a group of all of yours interested students who are going to join this mentorship program. And in the group one, Nikhil sir will share the exact chapters of J.C. Leong which you are supposed to read. All right. And those chapters also you are supposed to go through. Besides that, let me tell you one more thing to add upon here. I have already shared the India Yearbook, which Nikhil sir also has shared, in fact. इंडिया ईयर बुक 2020 इन हिंदी इन इंग्लिश हमने दोनों में शेयर किया है. अब आपको करना क्या है कि जब कभी भी आप ज्योग्राफी पढ़ लेंगे, जैसे जब कभी ज्योग्राफी आपका कंप्लीट होता है, तो एक बात ध्यान रखना है कि इंडिया ईयर बुक में भी ज्योग्राफी का एक चैप्टर है. ठीक है. सो वो जो चैप्टर है आप उसको भी पूरा पढ़ेंगे और उसके अंदर से जितने भी फैक्ट्स आपको नए नए मिलेंगे वो आप अपने जो सिनॉप्सिस या नोट्स आप बनाएंगे पढ़ने के दौरान, जो कि कंपलसरी है, सबको करना है. बिना नोट्स बनाए हुए पढ़ाई का कोई फायदा नहीं होगा, तो बहुत लंबा जर्नी है. ठीक है. तो नोट्स बनाना है, सिनॉप्सिस बनाना है, पॉइंटेड फॉर्म में नोट्स तैयार करने हैं, जहां जब भी कुछ भी पढ़ेंगे उसका आप. ठीक है. तो उसी नोट्स में इंडिया ईयर बुक की उस चैप्टर्स के भी इंफॉर्मेशन आप ऐड ऑन करेंगे, ये याद रखना है आपको. ठीक है. तो ज्योग्राफी का जो टेस्ट है तो उसमें ये सारे सेगमेंट्स आपको करना है, इंडिया ईयर बुक से भी ऐड करना है. कुछ ऐसे चैप्टर्स हैं जो कि ज्योग्राफी की एनसीईआरटी में अच्छे से नहीं दिए हुए हैं, जैसे कि मैं आपको बताता हूँ पॉपुलेशन. ठीक है. पॉपुलेशन क्योंकि सेंसस 2011 के बेसिस पे नहीं दिया हुआ है. अब उस पे क्या है कि 2011 सेंसस भी आपको तैयार करना है थोड़ा बहुत, और उसको पॉपुलेशन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में तैयार करना है, ठीक है। सो खुल्लर की बुक आती है, डीसी खुल्लर, ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में लोग पढ़ते हैं उसको, उसका सिर्फ एक चैप्टर है पॉपुलेशन जो आप सबको पढ़ना चाहिए, ठीक है। बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है, और इनफैक्ट मैं अभी बता देता हूँ बात, उसी बुक से यूपीएससी, झारखंड पीसीएस, उत्तराखंड पीसीएस सब उसी बुक से क्वेश्चन सेट करते हैं ज्योग्राफी के।
And I will going to share that chapter with you in the PDF form.
हाँ,
I
ठीक
will
है।
going to share.
तो इन सारे चैप्टर्स को आपको तैयार कर लेने हैं, इन सारे बुक्स को पढ़ लेने हैं अच्छे से, और एटलस रखना है कि बिना एटलस के ज्योग्राफी मीनिंगलेस हो जाएगा। तो आपको एटलस और मैप पे अब कमांडिंग हाइट लेके आनी है, ठीक है। अब आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि नगोर्नो काराबाख एरिया ये एग्जैक्टली है कहाँ। इतना तो पता होगा कि आर्मेनिया अजरबैजान के बीच में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट था, लेकिन एग्जैक्टली है कहाँ, ये ब्लैक सी के पास है, कैस्पियन सी के पास है। अगर ये नहीं क्लियर है तो फिर फंसेंगे आप प्रीलिम्स में, ठीक है।
And as Amit sir told, for UPSC and for you and for me, atlas is the crux.
बिल्कुल।
Those who are the old student, they know we really ask questions from in between of the atlas, and this somewhat same kind of questions asked by UPSC also. Even if I talk about if I ask Abhinav and Sandeep, then they can add on these things.
Actually, yes, you're right.
Sandeep, your mic is off. Sandeep.
Yes, sir, you are
Yes,
absolutely
sir.
right.
Yes.
Actually,
So-
UPSC, the favorite topic is, in fact, I can say that Atlas. Now, this year question even they have been formulated not even Atlas, then geography knowledge, as well as the each point you have to know which river is flowing from which direction or which ocean.
So this year that Siachen wala question was very much related to map, like Siachen Valley location where it is.
Yes, yes. So that's the reason why atlas is something which is compulsory. You cannot skip it, and it's a very basic to understand. If you don't have a basic idea about where the Azerbaijan or Armenia are located, how would you be able to argue, and on what basis would you be able to argue? So exactly, you need to know about all these facts beforehand. All right, and you have to have a fair idea about the, let's say, the areas which are in dispute in India and China. ठीक है, तो वो अगर डिस्प्यूट नहीं क्लियर है, वो नहीं पता है कि लेट्स से सियाचिन ग्लेशियर कहाँ पे है, तो डेफिनेटली इट विल बी हैविंग अ प्रॉब्लम विथ यू। आई मीन दिस वाज हैज ऑलरेडी बीन आस्क्ड बाय यूपीएससी आल्सो कि सियाचिन ग्लेशियर है कहाँ पे, ठीक है। तो वो सब क्लियर होना चाहिए, तो इसलिए एटलस तो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, और वो जब आप पढ़ना शुरू करेंगे तो उसी को आपको बेस बना के पढ़ना होगा इनफैक्ट, और उसको सिर्फ अभी से नहीं, इनफैक्ट पूरे जर्नी में आपको बेस बनाना होगा। जब कभी भी आप करंट अफेयर्स भी पढ़ेंगे तो बिना एटलस के आप करंट अफेयर्स को भी अच्छे से नहीं समझ पाएंगे, ठीक है। तो एटलस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज कंपल्सरी, इट्स द लाइफलाइन ऑफ योर एंटायर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ ज्योग्राफी, ठीक है। तो वो तो इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो कह सकते हैं जिस तरह से बेयर एक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है पॉलिटी और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को समझने के लिए, उसी तरीके से एटलस भी इमेंसली इंपॉर्टेंट है ज्योग्राफी और एनवायरनमेंट को समझने के लिए। तो ये सारे अच्छे फैक्टर्स आपको लेके चलने होंगे, तो वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो इनको कवर करना है आपको, ठीक है। तो एग्जैक्टली इस तरीके से हम आगे मूव करेंगे। तो जैसे वो ग्रुप बनाएंगे तो निखिल सर शेयर कर देंगे उसमें क्या क्या पढ़ना है। सिमिलरली उसी में फिर मैं भी आपको बता दूंगा कि हिस्ट्री एंड कल्चर में आपको क्या पढ़ना है, और किस किस चैप्टर को मैं खुद पढ़ा दूंगा आपको, मैं बता दूंगा आपको, ठीक है। तो वो काम कर लेना है, ठीक है। तो इस तरीके से हम आगे मूव करते चले जाएंगे। तो आपको हर एरिया के ऊपर पहले से हम आपको ब्रीफ कर देंगे, ताकि आप पहले से क्लियर हो कि अब आपको करना क्या है अगले 10 दिन में, ठीक है। अब उस 10 दिन में आपको उस पर काम करके आगे बढ़ना है, और काम करने के दौरान भी जो दिक्कतें आएंगी, आप फ्री हैं, आप बात करने के लिए, आप पूछने के लिए, ठीक है। और फिर आपका एक टेस्ट हो जाएगा उसके ऊपर। तो इस तरीके से ये जर्नी चलेगा। तो आप एक्चुअली क्या होगा ना कि सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होगा कि आप पूरे अगले 9-10 महीने अपने आप को बांध के रख पाएंगे, अपने आप को जोड़ के रख पाएंगे, अपने आप को इस प्रोसेस के थ्रू ना अटैच करके रख पाएंगे। नहीं तो होता क्या है, जो मैं पर्सनली अपने एक्सपीरियंस से कहता हूँ होता ये है कि ठीक है, अभी आप मोटिवेटेड बहुत ज्यादा है, या किसी से आपने बात कर ली, या आपने खुद सोचा कि नहीं मुझे क्रैक करना है, इस साल कुछ भी हो जाए, तो आप 1 महीने बहुत जोर शोर से पढ़ लेंगे। लेकिन ऐसा समय फिर आएगा कि आप 15 दिन फिर आप बेहोश रहेंगे कि आप क्या करें, पता नहीं होगा भी नहीं होगा, कहाँ छोड़ के क्या छोड़ के आ गया हूँ इस फील्ड में, उसी में रहता तो शायद ज्यादा अच्छा कर लेता है ना। और फैमिली प्रेशर भी होता है, वो भी आपको सुनने को मिलेगा कि उसका बेटा जो है अमेरिका चला गया, उसकी बहन जो है ऑस्ट्रेलिया शिफ्ट कर गई, तुम अभी भी इसी प्रोसेस में लगे हुए हो। तो वो सब आपको सुनने को मिलेगा, तो लगता है कभी कभी कि पता नहीं सही डिसीजन था भी कि नहीं था। ठीक है, तो ये सारे ये जो प्रोसेस है ना, जो हम समाज के अंदर रहते हैं, वो आपको खींचते रहेंगे कि नहीं आपको छोड़ देना है तैयारी, अब आप छोड़ दीजिए और लग जाइए किसी और काम के लिए। लेकिन आपको बांध के रखना है अपने आप को, और बांध के तभी रख पाएंगे जब आपका इंटरेक्शन उस ग्रुप से रहेगा, वैसे लोगों से रहेगा जो इस फील्ड में जुड़े हुए हैं, जो आपको मोटिवेट करते रह रहे हैं और आपको पुश करते रह रहे हैं कि नहीं भाई करना है, अगले 10 दिन में ये कंप्लीट करना है। तो इससे क्या होगा कि आपके अंदर वो लो जो पॉइंट है इस प्रिपरेशन के जर्नी के दौरान, वो कम से कम आएगा फिर भी, क्योंकि ऐसा प्रोसेस है, इतना आइसोलेशन में रहना होता है, 8-8 10-10 घंटा किसी से बात नहीं करते हैं, पढ़ते रहते हैं, तो थोड़ा बहुत फीलिंग आएगा, जो कि बहुत ही नेचुरल है, वो ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी का पार्ट है। लेकिन चूंकि आपको पता है कि अगले ही नेक्स्ट डे में अमित सर का लेक्चर होने वाला है या निखिल सर लेक्चर होने वाला है, तो आपको फिर थोड़ा सा मोटिवेशन जागेगा कि चलो कम से कम सुन लेते हैं, कम से कम पार्टिसिपेट कर लेते हैं, तो कुछ नया मालूम पड़ जाएगा, कुछ नया मालूम पड़ गया बस हो गया। और हर दिन आपको सोचना है कुछ नया हम सीख रहे हैं। अगर आज के दिन में हमने एक नया कॉन्सेप्ट समझा या नया फैक्ट समझा, तो आज के दिन का वही मेरा अचीवमेंट है। ठीक है, ऐसे ही आपको आगे बढ़ते रहना है, और जिंदगी भर यही काम करना है। इनफैक्ट आईएएस बनने के बाद भी यही काम करना होता है। ठीक है, तो यही करना है। ठीक है, तो इस पे आप लोग काम करना शुरू कर दीजिए पहले टेस्ट के ऊपर, और फिर जैसे जैसे दिक्कतें आएंगी बताइएगा, फिर उस पर हम लोग काम करवाएंगे आगे। ठीक है
सर, वाइंड अप करते हैं।
ठीक है, तो हम लोग वाइंड अप करते हैं, फिर हम लोग मिलते हैं जल्दी ही। ठीक है, और जैसे कि निखिल से एक ग्रुप बना लेंगे आप लोग सभी का, उस पर फिर हम लोग शेयर कर देंगे सारा क्या क्या पढ़ना है आपको। ठीक है,
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल गोइंग टू शेयर वन रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म विद यू।
ठीक है,
एक बार डिटेल्स आ जाएंगे तभी हम
श्योर, हाँ उसी पर आ लेंगे। ठीक, ओके, चलिए फिर, बाय बाय, टेक केयर,
गुड नाइट ऑल ऑफ यू, बाय बाय,
बाय बाय,
बाय बाय सर, बाय
बाय बाय।